It's that time of year again. On Saturday the 16th of November, or if you're in New Zealand or Australia, like myself, early morning on Sunday the 17th, I'll be hosting my annual Circuit Thermalito community event at, well, Circuit Thermalito. Circuit Thermalito is a racetrack that I designed for rFactor 1 about 15 years ago, and thanks to the incredible response from this channel's community on Kickstarter, had professionally remade from scratch for Assetto Corsa last year by none other than AC modding legend himself, Nuke Drop. It's kind of like my own test track, which is pretty cool, but not as cool as being able to share it with you and the rest of the community that makes this channel possible. So with this year being the 5th running of the event, I thought I'd do something a little bit special. This year's main event at Thermalito is bringing back Bin Car, a community series I hosted in Race Room last year, and will feature the PRAGA R1 and the Audi TT-RS VLN. Unlike Race Room though, these cars are pretty much identical on pace around this track in Assetto Corsa, so this isn't going to be a multi-class race. The PRAGA definitely has more cornering grip and maybe a tenth or two advantage over the course of a lap, but the Audi is faster in a straight line and will be quite difficult to overtake. Both cars are more than capable of taking the outright win, so which one will you choose? It's going to be a 90-minute race through the sunset and into the night with open setups, full tyre wear and fuel usage, limited damage, manual rolling start and live race control from DDF Racer community legend Olaf, who will also be driving the safety car, which this year is a Mazda MX-5 because, well, you can't have Bin Car without the Mazda. That's not all though, as there's going to be 2 support events before the big one. For the first time, we have the Nuke Drop Challenge, a 20-minute race with the Rush SR, a car that Nuke Drop made along with Authentic Simulation, and a track he made too, hence the name Nuke Drop Challenge. It's tiny, it's nimble, and it's relatively easy to drive, so should make for some amazing close racing. And of course, it wouldn't be Thermalito without the transit vans, who'll be first up with 2 5-lap races, the second race being a full reverse grid for, you know, the mandatory maximum chaos that we've all come to expect. At 3.5 minutes a lap though, that would normally mean a couple of long races. But this year for the vans, we're not using the normal layout. Instead, we'll be using the brand new Thermalito short layout, which completely bypasses the old middle and final sectors and all of the technical hairpins, instead taking this access road after the first tunnel and bridge across the water to join back up with the main straight via a new chicane instead of the old final corner. Now of course with a new layout that means a new version of the track, so even if you have Circuit Thermalito already installed, you will need to re-download and install it again with the latest update. There's a link for that down in the video description, along with everything else you'll need to download if you want to take part in any of these events. Now, it also goes without saying, but I'll say it anyway, please make sure you are on the latest version of Content Manager and custom shaders. For the main event, the only mod you're going to need is the custom skin pack for the Pragas. Again, download link in the video description. The Praga itself is stock Assetto Corsa content as part of the Triple Pack DLC, the Audi is part of the Ready to Race Pack DLC, and the Mazda is part of the Japanese Pack DLC, all of which are available on Steam for a couple of dollars or something, not much. So if you haven't already got them, head on over to Steam and grab a copy. Now for the Nuke Drop Challenge event, the Rush SR is actually a paid mod available from Authentic Simulation's website, which I'm sure you've already guessed it by now, link down in the video description. And for the Transit Trophy, you'll need to download the van itself and the custom skin pack, featuring lots of awesome community paint jobs by Olaf and myself, both of which are free, and yeah, you know where the links are. The vans will be kicking things off with the server going live at 7 PM UTC on the 16th of November, and there are some time zone conversions up on the screen now for other regions around the world. Practice and qualifying is combined into a single 20-minute session, followed by the 2 5-lap races, both with standing starts and no safety cars. Next up, the Nuke Drop Challenge server with the Rush SR will go live at 8 PM UTC on the 16th of November, with another combined practice and qualifying session of 20 minutes, followed immediately by the 20-minute race. Again, standing start and no safety cars here, just a sprint to the finish. And then the main event, Pragas vs Audis, which goes live at 9 PM UTC, with a 15-minute practice session, dedicated 10-minute qualifying session, 5-minute warm-up for a toilet break and quick driver briefing, before the big 90-minute race, which should finish around 11:15 PM UTC. Manual rolling start for this one, with race control monitoring things and deploying the safety car if needed. Now, This is important. All of these events are registration only, available through Just Race at ddf.justrace.net. You can't just turn up on the day and log into the server with a password. You do have to register for each individual race you want to take part in because, well, there's limited slots on the server and also to reserve a specific livery that you want to race with. You'll also need to be a member of my Discord server. Why? Well, you need to be able to hear important information about the race, such as the rolling start instructions, any safety cars that might get called, and just general race information, which is all going to be done through the Thermalito voice comms channel on my Discord server. Again, link in the video description. You don't need a microphone, and there's absolutely no pressure to join in and talk if you don't want to, but you do need to be able to listen and hear the instructions from race control. Anyone who's in the race and not following the instructions because they're not on the voice comms channel will be kicked from the race server, so you have been warned. Using Just Race is super easy though. All you need to do is head on over to ddf.justrace.net and create an account if you haven't already got one, and make sure your Discord account is linked on your Just Race profile too. Then, it's just a case of clicking on each event you want to take part in and reserving your car. Before the race servers go live on the 16th of November, there will be Just Race practice servers running 24/7. Now make sure you actually do use the practice servers and log some laps, not only to get used to the cars and the track before race day, but to see what kind of lap times you can do, because whoever sets the fastest time in either the Audi or the Praga will be going up on the official Circuit Thermalito leaderboard. And if you can beat the fastest time for the Rush SR, then that'll go on there as well, although any times for the transit van won't count because, well, they'll be using the short layout. If you have any questions about anything Thermalito related, then either pop them down in the comments section of this video, or better yet, on my Discord, where you'll be able to keep up to date with the event and chat with everyone else who's taking part to see how their practice is going, and also troubleshoot any potential issues you might have with Assetto Corsa or Content Manager. It can be a little bit fiddly at times, especially if you're not familiar with Assetto Corsa, Content Manager, or just modding in general, so don't be afraid to ask. We're all here to help out. Now, I know I say this every year, but honestly, I'm so excited for this community event. Every year the channel gets bigger and better, and with that, so do the events at Thermalito as well. I cannot wait to get out there and share the track again with you, and if the previous ones are anything to go by, then we're in for an absolute cracker.